Caner Universe, it's Caner Tip Tuesday, and today we are looking at part 2 of the power of the cane and the empty hand, which is we're looking at the translation, the cane ACSD cane applications and their empty hand translations, which is in great demand here as we're looking at Fall Cane Immersion 2022. And stick again to the very end of the video, because I'm going to do more of that. We got some positive reviews, and hey, show me some more of that where I just shut up and we go off and do some cane and empty hand translations the way that we did this decades ago. Before we jump into any of that, 2 things you want to do straight off the bat. If you like the content, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the little bell icon so that you don't miss any future content, and avail yourself. Do this now. Take that number down up on the screen, 305-745-7839. Text the letters CCC for your no-cost cane clarity call. What is that all about? In less than 24 hours, we will be on a phone call with you, finding out what it is that interests you about what we do, whether it be canes or getting cane trained, which is always most important, or anything related to the cane culture, so that from the onset you get it right. Doesn't matter if you're a beginner or you're an experienced instructor, we love talking to you. So go ahead and do that now. Now, last week we went ahead and extracted. It's one of the ways of doing it. We looked at ACSD forms, and for those of you that haven't looked at the first segment, I'll say it here again. ACSD does not contain long martial art kata type of forms for the competitive platform to be evaluated by judges. They're actually short exercises designed to ingrain tactical applications. So they're very short, and then when you link all 6 of those forms together, it makes for one longer form. But they're designed really to teach concepts and not to be, right? So that's why they're short. So I'm going to visit today ACSD form number 3. And ACSD practitioners will know them as, you're going from here. I'm going to take it from here, and I can hear you guys saying, that's the strangulation. Are you going to show the strangulation? And I'm not going to show it here now, but I am going to ask you to stick towards the end, because you might like that. And it's what happens afterwards, where from here facing 12 o'clock, all of a sudden you go into 9 o'clock and you do a move like that. So I'll do it here. This is my 12 o'clock. You now represent 9, and coming towards you, it looks that way, and then it goes into that next move. So what are we looking at there? It's showing you that you're dealing with a multiple assailant situation. You can't give, just focus here, because you don't know, if Cousin Bubba, who weighs 300 pounds, is coming out of the bush to do this. Now, you're going to have to go ahead and turn, boom, and come in here, right, and spring into action from there. So what's actually happening? As he comes down, I'm knocking that down. I'm knocking that down on the radial bone. It's an impact, so we got nerves going, radial nerve going in there, but I'm covering my head with that armadillo just in case, because I'm human. That strike, if it goes by me, I got to protect the melon, because that's where the computer is. That's the priority. I come right back and strike at him. Always bony areas, right? So this whole side. One of the most overlooked concepts now is coming out in the physical training of the cane, and that is the choking up and moving up and down the shaft of that cane. Just what you need to get it done. So when I move in here, I'm already to the inside, taking the back of the head and taking the head and smashing it towards the shaft. So the movement, if you can do this, right, it's showing you how to go in, protect your head, and go right to that midline. Well, with the empty hand, same thing. With the empty hand, it looks like this. The move is here, and you do this, which is that choke, that strangulation. And now the next thing you know is there it comes, right? And you're still doing this. So if you knock this, if you analyze this, I'm having to shift from this front stance into what is almost like a cat stance, most of my weight to the back. I'm going armadillo and then striking again. Sorry about that. Boom, trigeminal nerve, the eyes are there. And now I'm in such a position that I can knee to the groin as the head comes down, take the back of the head, and this represents your elbow, the most destructive in the upper body, represents the shaft of that cane and you're striking here. Now, this would be an elbow strike would be very powerful if you take the back of the head and you bring it towards the elbow. Now, everything gets magnified. The force of the blow gets magnified here, and the knees tend to buckle when you're doing that, right? So that's what you're doing with the cane, coming in here and boom, lights out. Doesn't matter to me how pinpoint your ACSD forms are, how beautiful your flows are. Look at me, I'm so fast, I can do this. If you don't have this understanding of what you are doing in those forms or in your flows, if you can't take another human being and say, let me show you what this application is, both cane and empty hand, you don't have the whole story, right? You don't know. And that's okay, because you have different levels of training. Again, if this is content, if this is material that interests you, what you're looking for, what your goal should be, is to come down to the headquarters for that cane immersion. And the next one is now September 20th through the 23rd. It's about 75% full right now. And what that means is we just cut participation. We close registration for your best learning experience. We've done it like that. It's not related to pandemic or anything like that. It's just for your best experience. If you think you might want to come down to Miami and do that, and the weather's phenomenal here, it just is, I want you to text FALL, F-A-L-L, 2022 to 305-745-7839. Let's have a conversation before you enroll to see if this is something that would work for you. And as promised, let me have the drone cane. I don't want to hurt nobody. I'm just going to shut up and do a little bit of the application. The way once you have a hand this, you can get a training partner and say, hey, come on, let's dance. And, you know. In case you were wondering. That may have been what you were looking for in the strangulation. All right. Thank you so much for your kind feedback and tuning in every week. I'm Joe Robaina for AmericanCane Self-Defense. Keep caning. Stay safe.